This is that situation about the prison officers have said, or the Prison Officers Association has said that they're urging MPs and ministers to scrap sentences under a year. Right, Ollie, I'm going to read some emails. Any texts in there? If you're going to bring some texts in, I'll read those out as well. I might just get my readings done. Right. Regarding illegal drugs in prison. The law enforcement against prohibition. This debate on drugs has been so infested and misrepresented by governments that even the arguments don't make sense anymore. What's wrong with someone taking certain drugs? Who told us that it was bad or dangerous? When for centuries humans have been taking these drugs and living their lives perfectly well, all hysteria about drug addicts is so coloured by untruths and hysteria. That is hard for us to talk about with any sense nowadays. Right, now then, what Ennis is saying there, and it is a simple matter, you know, it could be argued that one of the greatest monarchs this country has ever had, Queen Victoria, and she was a habitual taker of cocaine. Now then, in this day and age, she would be deemed as a criminal because she was the supreme. I mean, you've got to remember that cocaine was legal in those days. When did it become illegal? Oh, when it didn't suit certain commerces. You know, the illegality of most substances was, you know, between the wars. Actually, that's probably what it was. It was between the wars. Why? Well, there's speculation rife. Right. I'll get through some of these. Tooth Fairy says, now, Ollie, I'm not going to read this first sentence. What do you mean, why? Well, he says, George, listening to your show, I've just got to say, you are a really great entertainer on the radio. If I put that in there, everybody will think I'm just making it up, so I won't read that. He says, right, now then, after thinking long and hard, the biggest impact any book has ever had on me was George Orwell's 1984. Now, I read it in the early 80s, along with several other of his books, and I found it gripping and horrifying, the concept, and we are heading there now. I was always attracted to the David Icke books as well, and I've read Robots Rebellion and The Truth Shall Set You Free, The Biggest Secret. Love him or hate him, when you read his books, at the end of it, you do not see the world in the same way. Okay, but then a lot of people say that, ooh, maybe he's just there to annoy us. But look, I'm not gonna pass comment about any of them. Wasn't he a goalkeeper for Coventry at some point, David Icke? I tell you what, he is someone who stirs up a lot of debate. And what's interesting about David Icke is that the people that he attack him, and the people that also attack him because they say about he's here to discredit us. See, he says all this stuff which is true, but then he says this outlandish stuff like Tony Blair and George W. Bush are 12-foot lizards in human skin, and that negates all of his arguments. And I choose just not to be confused by it all. Right, and Leanne is talking about prisons. She said, I'm outraged and saddened to realise that prison systems in both your country, Great Britain, and mine, America, are as they are. I watched an American show where they showed prisoners eating better food than most